Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I am just one of your hosts with the mostest, Clayton Kisco, and I'm accompanied by the rest of the Maelstrom gamers.
Right, sure.
With us on this podcast today, we have the bad boy, Cop Show's #1 fan, Steve Landis.
It's true, I heard it the other day.
Let's switch it up a little bit,
You gonna
guys.
switch it up?
If you guys can name this song, it'd be great.
Okay.
Times that you rain on my parade, and all the clubs
Morgan
you
Freeman.
did in using my name. You think you broke my heart? Oh, girl, for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own?
16 Candles. All right,
Wow.
next up.
We gotta move up. Move on.
It's Justin Bieber, man.
What?
What?
That's
He's
not a
saying
movie.
Justin Bieber.
Oh, my God.
He's singing Justin
Pretty
Bieber
good.
right now. My
Wow.
mama don't like you.
I'm impressed.
I didn't.
I'm not even
get
mad.
it. I didn't even
I'm
get
That
it.
was amazing.
It's like I'm not even that mad.
guys
I'm
are
not even that mad.
That's not
Next up, we got Justin Bieber's #1 fan.
That's
the
me.
A-Train, the Canadian
Oh, no,
sensation.
come on, man.
Alan Toner.
You gotta give it to me. I was so ready for it.
No. Now I go
Yo, I'm
online.
seeing Bieber in like 2 weeks or something like that.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go. Well,
you,
it-
didn't
oh,
even,
you
you
are?
haven't even seen him in concert.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he looks upset, but he's kind of not. He's like, oh, this. It's actually.
That-
That's just resting.
It's gonna be awesome.
Bitch face syndrome that we all have, except for you, Rocco.
Yes.
And introducing, last but certainly not least, the man who's too hot to be cool.
To
The
freeze
heartthrob.
things and too hot to
Rocco
sweat
Avelino.
stuff. And
I can never get that right.
Whoa, what is happening?
AKA the animal baby. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. AKA back door. AKA because that's how the
What?
door closes.
Oh, no.
All right, let's just shut it down for the
It
day.
again.
Shut it down.
Internet shut down.
All right. For those of you guys that don't know the format of the show, it's pretty simple. Maelstrom Gamers, we all hop on Skype. We each bring a topic for our discussion, and more importantly, for your entertainment. And each topic, there's 5 of them. They're doled out Monday through Friday, topic by topic. And on Saturday, all of the topics are rolled up into a single episode that you can catch on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Maelstrom Gamers channel. You can get all that stuff early by going to patreon.com. And please remember to follow, like, subscribe, and comment on our Facebook channel, our Twitter, or our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and our Twitter. So without further ado, let's move on. Episode 35.
Episode
Alan.
30.
Do it.
I'm going to go with you first on your topic as Steve tries to connect. And it's always so nice that when he disconnects, we get to see Rocco and Steve when they were 10.
Yeah, it's really nice.
really
I really
nice.
like Steve's haircut back then, by the way.
Yeah, me too. I had a very similar haircut. They called it the McDonald's haircut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was
Didn't
a
it
little
look
M.
like it was me? Didn't it look like it's me?
Yeah, it looks like you, but you look.
Alright.
You have devil little beady eyes.
I know.
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
I was playing. Like you guys had called it out before. You're like, look at that top button unbuttoned.
Yeah.
I'm looking good.
Oh, yeah.
Looking suave. Such a little James Bond. Such a young age.
Yeah.
Who is that kid? That's
kno-
a good
nobody
looking kid
knows.
right there. He's gonna grow up. He's gonna be a good looking man.
Maybe. Well, that's weird. I don't think I'd ever look at a kid like that. I wouldn't look at a
that's,
little.
well, okay, because of the fact that it is me, I'm gonna look at it like that.
Okay,
But
okay.
other children, no,
No?
that'd be really strange. Would be
That is
strange.
very strange.
That is very strange. So,
I'm gonna try to
Steve-O,
get Steve back.
he would,
That was
I thought he was
perfect
gonna
timing.
participate here, but I guess
I
not,
thought it
right?
was too.
Guess not. We can move on with the topic. We
Alan,
have to.
why don't you throw us your topics?
Okay, I will do the first topic. I want to talk about the price tag of a video game these days.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
a AAA title, $60. Indie game, anywhere between 20 to 40, sometimes 15, I would say,
Yeah.
Do you guys think that a $60 video game, even for a major publisher, is too expensive, not expensive enough, based on how much development costs are? And do you think most games should always fall between that 20 to 40 price point now, regardless of how much development it takes, whether it be a small team or a gigantic company?
Let me jump on this one first because
All right,
he has
hit it up. Hit it
Okay,
up.
so- What?
Oh my God,
I'm
the
gonna-
moves!
The moves are so serious, and I've been practicing. All right,
Oh.
so
Oh.
yeah, that's right.
Weird.
So I'm just gonna put that in.
Mm.
Just gonna let you guys know this. from the consumer side, not from, because I don't know how much it takes to actually produce like a video game. I don't know if that $60 price range is like absolutely necessary for all the people employed plus a little bit of profit,
It
or if
ranges.
it's like, or if
ranges.
it's like it pays all the people that are employed, and then there's a gigantic, huge, enormous profit made.
One thing to consider is the AAA video game has been $60. I feel like ever since we started playing video games, like on
I feel
Super
like that too.
Nintendo.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
well, even the PlayStation, all it do is different things and stuff like that when
N64
it's coming
games
out.
used to be like $70.
Yeah, they were like expensive.
Yeah.
They've always been
Really
expensive. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if like I don't know what those prices are like on the opposite side. But from the consumer side, I would say I feel like $60 is too much to have to pay for a video game. Because not many video games do I feel like I got a $60 experience from them. Not all. There's some games that I'd say, okay, you know, that game was kind of totally worth it for me for $60. Like a game like Fallout 4 I just recently played. Because there was so much story, so much in-depth gameplay that I felt like I invested enough time that it was equivalent to, say, going to the movies several times and paying $10, $12 to go to that movie for entertainment. So I'd say like a game like that, cool. But a game like, what was the one, I think it's called The Two of Us?
Yeah.
Where it has, okay, I didn't feel like that game, like it's the military game where you run co-op together.
Sure.
Oh,
I
Army
didn't
of
feel
Two?
like
Army of
of Two. I did not feel like though like there was enough gameplay in that game to have paid $60 for that game. I felt like it ended really quick for me personally. So I guess it's all for me. It depends on like how much. It's like Clay was mentioning before, like how much of that person's time equivalent to money. I forget. He knows how to put it the right way. But for me, it's like certain games will be okay. They'll have enough quality there. They'll have enough time, enough gameplay and experience for me that it was worth paying that that amount of money for it. Where others, I'd say, were not. I like the $20 to $40 price range though, because I feel like that is extremely affordable. And I kind of feel like most quality of games, to be honest, generalizing, most quality of games feel like they should be around that range price-wise.
I see.
For me.
So we
What
can do a
about-
fun little experiment.
Yeah.
Really quick. Sorry, Alan, if you wanted to say
Yeah,
something.
go ahead.
But I was going to. Okay, so Army of Two, or we can take Assassin's Creed average amount of people playing a game. Let's say they're about 200-person teams. Let's say that each 200-person team is, let's say they're making on an average of 50 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
So 200 times 50,000 equals $10 million.
Okay.
Let's say then the studio costs and overhead. Let's just tack on and like marketing, right?
Right. How long does it take to produce a game?
2 years
Year?
for them.
2 years. 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, yeah, that's right. We times it by 2, because that's 20 mil. Plus, I would honestly say another like 5 to 10 mil. So we'll just say 5 mil. So I would say 25 million.
As a smaller side of estimate, I would say.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree.
25 to like between 25 and 35,000.
Yeah, 25 to life.
25, 35.
So let's just say 30 mil.
25, 30 mil.
So $30 million
25 to life.
Yeah.
divided by $60. Actually, sorry. Hold on. Because, yeah, okay, wait, no, yeah. So 30 mil, we'll do this, divided by 60.
I hope you're using your calculator, not actually doing.
I am.
Vision.
That's 500,000. So they have to sell 500,000. Like 500,000 people
Copies.
have to buy.
Just to cover costs.
And now, just to cover costs. And now also you have to remember that Microsoft or like certain companies, they take like 20%, right? So they're going to take 20% of the profits.
Depending on what company you make it for, right?
Sure.
Or what platform.
Well, all platforms take a cut, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even
Apple
if you
takes
make it
something.
Steam, PC exclusive.
Yeah, but then you're talking about Steam, and Steam will probably take some. Like it might be like I know Apple's like 30%, which is cheaper than something like Microsoft and stuff like that. And then you got to think about investors, because investors need to get their money back too.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to really like, but that's just a little bit of context about how much money and how many units you have to sell. So if you're going to be making this AAA game, you are signing up for a $60 price point, because that's the money you need. Like, and not only that, but like thinking that you're going to sell 1 million copies, because if you don't, you're going to run into an issue where you're just not covering costs and all that stuff. So our $60, in my opinion, off that, like our $60 price point is too high. I believe so, and I think it comes from a a misinterpretation of your audience. Like making Army of Two, you're thinking that people are going to buy 1 million copies, and you're building the game like it would, but that's not the case. And so a smarter like sense of your audience would be like, all right, let's make a much smaller game. Let's cut its product, like cut the cost in half, and then we can sell it for $30. And then we'll get everybody who probably would have bought it for 60, and maybe we'll get a couple other people who don't see $30 as big of a risk as 60. And then you got to factor in, is it a multiplayer game or is it a single player game? A lot of single player games, unless they're like, it's so strange because like lately we're just talking about Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 has like reached this new echelon of AAA, I think. You had your AAA games, your blockbusters, but now you have this thing where it's like, if it's a single player game, it not only has to be this AAA experience, but it has to be even above that. Because there's certain games that are single player only, AAA, like have all the bells and whistles that you expect of a $60 price point, but just the story alone is not worth it. And there's no multiplayer, and all of a sudden $60 is just way too expensive to drop on a single player experience. Whereas a multiplayer game has that like evergreen kind of thing where you can keep playing and playing against other people.
So you're saying by making it like $30, like half the price, they'll sell twice as many copies? Is like what you're thinking?
Maybe not twice, but I think you gain some from people who are like would buy it, but it was just too expensive.
So if I was walking in a store and I could buy two $30 games or one $60 game, and their two $30 games were like pretty decent games, I would definitely choose that route before going and getting one game for $60.
And I think it depends, honestly.
Like I was saying, it all depends. Like one big factor for me though about paying the money out and dishing it out and not having a problem with that from the multiple different games I've played in my past is that multiplayer experience, like you were talking about, Clay. Because like when I feel like when it brings that involved, it does create that evergreen experience. I can keep on going. I can keep on paying. I can get those additional DLCs just because of that competitive MMO experience that I feel like I have while playing that game. Now, if I don't have that and it's a single player game, and I've already spent $60, it's really I noticed that it's like 80% of the time I will not go buy the extra DLC unless it's like really something I wanted to. Like Destiny, I bought the DLC, and that's pretty much one of the only games and that's still even kind of like an MMO game. But it was like, really, that's like one of the only games that I bought the DLCs for.
Yeah.
You know,
would you say,
except for Call of Duties, you know, and Battlefields, which are all MMO. I bought all those DLCs.
That game alone is worth the 60 because the amount of time I can put into it. Call of Duty, and it doesn't. In my opinion, these days, it doesn't even need the single player experience. Yeah. Either does Battlefield. I buy that game for the multiplayer experience, and it's worth the $60 because of the progression mechanic in there. Keeps me wanting to unlock stuff and playing and doing things and earning more.
What about the extra 60? What about the extra 60 for the season pass that they always have?
I don't even bother.
All the DLCs.
I don't need those DLCs because they don't affect my multiplayer experience, and new maps don't excite me really.
Okay, so I did pick it. I did pick it up. Let's just say, so on my side, I did pick it up. And I picked it up because new maps do excite me. Because I feel like sometimes I can sit down for 3 hours in that game, see the same map 4 or 5 times, and kind of be tired of it. You know what I mean? Where I do like having the extra maps to be able to play.
So $120
exactly.
is how much the game becomes at that point.
Yeah, honestly.
It's $60 for DLC?
If you get the season pass.
Oh.
Which includes all DLCs.
So the reason why I did that was because at the end of the day, it was like, I pretty much got 2 DLCs almost for the price of 4. You know what I mean? I got 4 for the price of 2. So for me, it was like, okay, I'll put up the upfront money because usually I tend to play these games for a good year before I put them down. Right. And it's not like something like I sit down and do 6 hours of that game, but I'll do like sporadic hours here and there of that game for the next year.
Right.
You know, like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield. Those are, I know my go-tos are first-person shooters when it comes to console. So it's like, I'll put the money there.
Yeah.
You know?
Something, even like Witcher 3.
But I feel like that's still too expensive, though. Like, DLCs shouldn't be an extra $60 either.
No way. They should be 40 max.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they should be like the game, though. I feel like the game should be kind of like 40 max, too. Like, but talking about the pay and all the different stuff, I kind of do see why there's $60 put behind it so that they can try to make some money, too, as well. But I also see your point with if you were to lower that price range, you might sell a lot more copies than you do at the $60 range. Because I feel like a lot of individuals nowadays are doing the GameStop thing. But they're not going to buy the game right off the rip.
It doesn't stop with just lowering the price point. You have to, like, if you're cutting the price point in half, you have to cut the amount of content. Yeah. So if you're playing a single player game, like, Fallout 4, if you cut half the amount of content in there, you'd get a $30 experience. And maybe that's okay because more people would end up buying. And like this is a bad example because Fallout 4 is going to get bought for $60 anyway. But you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you like it has like if you're going to cut the price point, you have to cut the amount of content, or you're going to lose money hand over fist.
Well, yeah. I mean, like you were saying, the 2 years of somebody to be on a game, you cut it down to 1 year of the person on the game. It's not 20-something million anymore. It's 10 million to make the game, but you're also selling it for $30 instead of 60. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would work out. I mean, there's different gamers out there where, like you were saying, there's going to be gamers out there that are always going to buy at that $60 price. They don't care what the game is. You know,
and
what I
those
mean?
are loyal fans to an IP,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or like a new IP that has something exciting and new. I don't know. Like lately, I've just I love the Batman Arkham games, but I'm not about to drop $60 on that experience. I'm waiting a year, 2 years before I go and enjoy that experience because why? Why do I need to rush into that? Like I have time. I got plenty of other games to play. I'll get it when it's 30.
I wish I could see like a poll that's been taken and stuff like that, or just see like the trend that's been happening as of late with game purchases. Have you seen that as of recent, Clay? Like anything that shows like actual like evidence that people are not buying the $60 games and they're waiting to doing the same thing as you and doing like a $30 game 2-3 years later? Is that happening right now?
The most recent statistics that I'm aware of is the games when they're released make 90% of their money the first week they're released.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's still like the big $60 sale right off the
I
rip.
mean, pre-orders
Yeah.
is probably a huge
Yeah,
part of it. Like people are like,
Yeah.
they see the hype trailer, they're like, I have to have this game. They put down their $60, or even more for like a collector's edition right from the
Right.
get-go.
Yeah, I was asked that just the other day when I was going to get a game at GameStop. I was getting Call of Duty, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to pre-order any games?" And they pull out this list, a 2-page list for me to look at. And I'm like, man, I don't know. And they're like, well, you can get that game. You can get that game in collector's edition. I was like, I don't really do collector's editions
Dude, we
either.
talked
I'm already
about
paying
this.
$60 right now.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to pay? Oh, you can get the collector edition for $100. It's like, for what?
Yeah.
You're gonna
You
give
get
me-
extra gun skin in the
You're
game.
gonna give me one extra gun skin and a little doll or something like that for Overwatch. So I was like, I don't know. I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'll pick up the game itself. It's already gonna be tough.
How much
paying
is it?
$60.
I'm gonna get it right now.
$40, I think, for
What,
Overwatch.
with the special edition?
Oh no, it's like 100.
Okay,
I'm
Oh,
out.
the special
I'm
edition.
out. I don't know, like, yeah, I think, and honestly, like, I think we have to get a lower price point because of all of the amount of games that are coming out that people want to, like, be attached to. The competition is so high, and we just don't have enough money to throw around. I think some good games that rightfully cost $60 are just not being, like, supported, if that's the right word, and I think they crash and burn. Tomb Raider, that game was great. We were just talking about that, but
Yep.
they actually didn't hit their expectations, and maybe their expectations were too high, sure, but at the same time, people just don't have the money for $60 to throw around all the time. Like, I don't understand. Like, that Tomb Raider game, I could have had the same experience with half the amount of content. Like, I didn't need that game to be that long. Like, I'm actually interested in $30 experiences.
Was it a long game?
I mean, it was like 12 hours. Give me a 6-hour
Okay,
game.
yeah,
I'll pay for that experience in a 6-hour chunk for $30.
Yeah, I'll do that
You know
too.
what I mean? Like, Witcher 3 doesn't need to be 200 hours. I don't, like, that's not
Yeah.
a back-of-the-box thing anymore. We don't live in a time back in, like, The Legend of Zelda when it's the only game out for 6 months that you're wanting to play, and you need it to be that long. Like,
Yeah.
give me Witcher 3 for, 60 hours at max, and I'll pay 60, like, or $40 or whatever. Like, Fallout 4, that's a great game. You put a lot of time into it, but you probably haven't hit, like, you've probably only hit 30%. So wouldn't you,
Yeah.
like, wouldn't it be make more sense, a little bit more efficient if they're like, look, we'll give you Fallout 4 of what you played, and you only have to pay $30. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
That would
What?
be better.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
ask you guys one question. What game, for sure, would you buy if it was $60 and you would have to get it like at $60
Battlefield.
right from the
I'd
very
say Battlefield for me.
XCOM
Battlefield.
2.
Metal Gear Solid 6.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
They have that out?
No, are you saying?
But if you could, yeah, like
Yeah.
like if there was a game that came out and you were like, there was like $60 is how much it's going to cost, and you were like, I have to have this day one.
Yeah, actually, so that, I mean, I'm lying. Like, it took me 2 weeks before, like, I fought myself on getting Metal Gear 5. I was like, I should wait, and then, like, Jay started playing. He's like, dude, have you started? I was like, no.
Oh, well,
He's
you
like,
know,
"It's
he'll
good."
like
And I was like,
he'll drive the needle in.
dude, he did. And I was like, I gotta pick it up. But I was gonna wait, like, again, because it's a single player experience that, like, I was in no rush
Yeah.
to, like, get into. But it was
Oh, the
worth it.
multiplayer in that game looks cool though. I just saw a video of it for
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time. Like people running around in little boxes and shit. That was funny.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. But I would want to play with friends. It's not
Yeah.
as polished as, like, a Call of Duty where I don't need that on the back of it.
Playing with friends, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
Playing alone versus playing with friends. I
I
was trying to explain that to Yukiko last night. She's like, is it more fun when you play with friends? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Not everything.
Duh.
Not
Yeah,
everything.
What's not fun playing with friends?
Sex.
Oh.
You can't. Yeah, have sex and play with friends at the same time.
Bro,
man.
what are you talking about? This guy.
I'm
You don't
drawing
have
on my
sex.
cup right now.
He's-
I missed the whole conversation because my damn internet went out on fucking thing. So I'm just in my own land right now. It's just
This
chill.
damn ass rock just got in the way.
if people make it to the end of this topic, they're gonna get a nice little surprise and be like, "What the fuck is up with his logic?"
He's like, you can't have games when you play having sex.
sex. Yeah.
But I will say-
Let's be honest, guys. Nobody watches this shit.
Let's
I'm
talk
just
about
kidding.
dicks.
Let's change that. Let's get
I'm
some
make
just
it happen.
messing. I'm just messing with you guys.
But yeah, it's sort of like I will
Even
say,
Rocco doesn't watch it.
these days.
Yeah, Rocco's just said peace.
These days there really isn't a game. Like I don't know if I've just been like practicing willpower for the last like 5 years of like I can wait. I don't need to spend it. And like I don't know. I have a family. There's other expenses that, in my opinion, are more important. So like I tend to not buy games when they first come out. But I mean, yeah, and especially with like, and that leads me to like things like games that are like free, that are just straight up free, like League of Legends, dude. Can we just talk about how much value we've gotten out of League of Legends?
Yeah, I know.
And how much we've really spent. Like I know Rocco and Steve are like ridiculous, and they spend like $1,000. I've only spent
No, we
$5
didn't spend $1,000.
on the goddamn Arctic
If
Ops
we spend $1,000,
skin.
I'm gonna kill myself right now.
You should look back at, because I'm sure it's up there in the hundreds. You guys have like every skin in the game. Anyway, like I
When
think
they're on
that's
sale.
that business model is amazing, and I think that like more games, like because like
But could like a Metal Gear or a Battlefield work where it was free to play and you only could buy it, like you could only be supported through cosmetic purchases?
I think that they should definitely explore it. I don't think currently right now, because I don't think there's a model for a first-person shooter to really like take advantage of it. But oh boy,
Yeah,
man, I think
Counter-Strike?
Of course there is, though. Of course there is, because then you can put like different armor on, different skins. You can like
I know,
customize
but no game,
stuff like that.
I don't think there's a game of first-person shooter genre that's doing that right now.
Oh no, there isn't. But I'm just saying that
I know.
you could easily introduce that to it. Though.
In my
That's
opinion,
what I was-
yeah. I'm just saying there's no real quick way to point and say this game's doing it. But you can look at Tekken on not Tekken, Killer Instinct on Xbox
Oh.
and play like that. That's a free to play 2D.
Is it free?
fighter. Yeah, and they have seasons like League of Legends, and you have like a rotation of characters that are free, and you pretty much purchase new characters through currency that you grind for, or you pay real money to get skins. It's like the same League of Legends model.
Well, did you guys hear? You guys ever heard about Dota 2, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played it at all? Downloaded it?
No, I mean, I've played it. It's ridiculously hard.
Oh yeah,
Front
because
shot.
it's so much more, like intricate, I guess, as far as in gameplay.
Yeah.
But the cool business model that they had, 'cause my one friend who actually gave me the case for my computer, he was showing me about Dota, and he was saying that people can build their own armor and they can sell it. In
Oh.
Dota, people can buy it, like
So-
say for 60
'cause it's like a
cents or something
Steam.
like that.
You can
It's like a
sell it on
thing.
Steam, right? Yeah.
Right, they sell it on Steam
That's
through there,
amazing.
and like so people can create their own weapons and
Oh,
armor,
dude. Yes.
and then all of a sudden they can turn it around. Like they say, people have made like millions of dollars off it, or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And think about how much more money that because the company takes a cut. It's the same thing Valve does with Steam and their hats. They've said that they've made more money from like the hats and user like
Oh,
created
like Team Fortress?
Yeah, than than the game itself is made, which is incredible to me because it's a very scary thing and it's a very hard thing to get behind because you're like, wait, we're gonna open up the work to people and the people are gonna make the money. If it's like, yeah, we're
Right.
gonna make a cut though, and it's like, well, why don't we just do it ourselves and sell it? And it's
Because
really
they don't
hard
have like an entire game base
Doing it
of
for
people
free.
to make
Yeah.
content.
exactly.
exactly,
Have,
people
like,
make
20
exactly
people
what they
maybe
want.
at most.
Right. So, yeah, man,
that's
I
what-
just think that there's other business models out there that could really do a better job than this fucking $40, $60 DLC or the season pass bullshit that's giving you like a new map when there's people like me that don't care. There's people like Rocco that care, but like I just feel like there's just more money. They're leaving a lot of money on the table by not looking at games like League of Legends, looking at the mobile market, and looking at other games that really do this well and make a lot more money on it. Because it benefits everybody. The companies make more money, and we as players pay far less and pay for what we want. And I think that's just more efficient, and it sounds like we're greedy, But like we were talking about, if they could poll people like a Kickstarter and be like, okay, we want to make X game. What were you guys willing to pay for? Oh, you're willing to pay for this? Awesome. Here you go. We get the money, and like we know how to map out our production, as opposed to, we don't know, maybe based off pace. Like this is the best. Like in game development, they constantly have PR marketing, and like basically we have polled ages 18 to 35, and they said that they would like a game in Alaska doing this, blah blah blah, and they would be very interested in two guys with a mask shooting. It's like, all right, let's make a game like that because PR says it's good, and people did little bubble check marks, and then the game comes out and it's not what people really wanted or cared about, and it bombs, and people lose their jobs because they did it on a hunch or like this archaic way of like figuring out what people want. It's terrible.
I always thought it was different than that. I thought it was like a room of people kind of like us type of thing, not like Suits or something like that.
Well, it's a combination of that, right? Because like the developers are the room of people like us, but that has to get greenlit. Like we don't have that money. We have a publisher that's like,
true.
You want to make that game? Well, what data do you have to support that it's going to actually make money?
So they should do things like this. One thing I was reading before in this book I have on business, it was talking about shadow marketing.
Yeah.
Which is doing like you were talking about with the Kickstarter, right? Like you say, hey, I want to kind of create this product. I want to do this kind of different this, and that. Are you willing to put money behind it right now, or that at least put a statement behind saying you're willing to, when it comes out, purchase it at this price?
Right.
You know what I mean? And in this way, it's not like you're saying like the people in the room are like, we hope to sell 500,000 just to make, break even, and then hope to get to 1 million in sales. It's like, I know that I'm going to get 1 million in sales because I've had 1 million people already contribute $30 right now. We're creating the game, and it's going to be done in a year.
And then it gets flipped,
You know what I mean?
because then the people who are like
you guys
developers need to be extremely accurate in that
Right.
they can deliver based off
So
that.
that it's no longer you can eliminate the PR guy. Now you just have to
Yeah.
make sure that the people in the rooms, the developers, are creating exactly what it is that they said that they were going to offer those people at the Kickstarter program.
Totally.
But you're talking about Star Citizen though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something like that, but just less like
Oh my god.
less.
Yeah,
huge.
but they it looks like they got into something that they couldn't handle. Like they can't even develop the game, right? Because
That happens a lot in Kickstarter, dude. It happens like
I
too
feel
often.
that game has way too much money to not come out in some form
Right.
of
Yeah.
something.
But
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be able
Whether it's
do
going to be
what they
whether
did.
it's going to do what everybody wants that they expect from it, I have no idea. I find it
Yeah.
unlikely.
So I'm gonna
but-
watch. I'm gonna be playing some No Man's Sky, talking about that. Real
Oh
quick.
yeah, me too.
yeah.
That's kind of what made me. That's kind of what sparked me the question
because,
because it's
like,
$60.
I was reading about that. It was
You
like
just point down to you're like yo No
Yeah,
Man's
yeah,
Sky
yo.
on the
No Man's
PUBG.
Sky on the
It's been there before.
Yeah, because it's $60, and I was thinking, wow, this is a game that I thought is pretty much an indie developer
Yeah.
first time, and I feel like it should be like 30 or 40 at most.
Yeah.
Like,
Gotcha. I got it.
and it's not a multiplayer game. It's like journey-ish is what it's been described as. So you might see people every now and then,
Oh shit.
and it's only exploratory for the most part. And I mean, it's sort of RPG exploring game. I was like, I don't know if I want to spend $60 in
Yeah.
a game just doing that. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm also so
But
intrigued that I'm like,
supposedly there's like
maybe I want to
60%
spend
of
$60. Yeah.
There's like supposedly like 60 plus some algorithms that allow you to visit up to like trillions of
I know it's all procedurally
Ridiculous.
generated and stuff,
Yeah,
but like that doesn't mean good.
Yeah, exactly. You have to
Yes.
really like think like
Because like you could end up on a planet that's like poop planet, where everything
Yeah.
looks like poop, and you're just like,
Wouldn't wanna
oh
go
well,
there.
this sucks.
Rocco. Have you played
That's true. That is true.
what was it? Spore? Have you played Spore?
Oh,
I
man.
have.
Oh, I
Sounds
heard
like
about
it.
that though.
Right.
No, I don't
Alan and
think
I
I
have played
did.
it, and they had
Yeah.
procedurally generated millions of
Right.
planets, and you could go that like if you play that, you might get a sense of what potentially Star Citizen could be on just like a
Right.
first-person level, and your hype might come a little bit
Isn't-
back down to reality.
Isn't Spore like supposed to be like you basically start from like a little organism and it grows into this giant planet, right?
Yeah, the end game, the bulk of the game is visiting other planets and like seeing procedurally generated creatures and atmospheres and stuff like that. And
It's basically like a sim kind of game. Or
How
not
much is
sim,
that
but-
one?
you can probably get
that-
that free right now. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's
Free?
somewhere.
I'm gonna
It's
need
old.
to get
It's
that.
old.
It's,
I know it's old. I always
I mean,
wanted to.
I like that
game.
game, to be honest, though.
Is
I
it-
did too. All I'm saying is that one of the back of the box things was procedurally generated thousands of, and then like at the end of the day, that really didn't
It doesn't. It
sounds
It
cool.
changes the way everything looks a bit, but the gameplay doesn't change at all.
Right.
So that's a big issue. Is like, okay, so this thing has like duck feet instead of
Right.
ostrich feet, and like.
And that's the real
Uh,
and that's the real question you want to kind of have an answer to when they say that you can explore all these different things. Because like, what is the experience like? Like how many times before you
is
get
it
diminishing
fun?
returns?
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun that you every time you land on a new planet, you're gonna be
Well-
like,
well,
"Whoa,
where
this
did-
is so cool! Like
Right.
this is the most amazing thing."
Or is it going to be like 4 times and the veil's like taken from you and you're like, I get it now and I'm
Well,
done.
Riddle me this though, guys. What if we actually did find other people on other planets? They just looked like us, but they had different feet, and they had it right the entire time in Spore.
Great.
I would be stunned.
I'm going to go on our
Yeah,
next
let's-
topic.
Okay.
That was great.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, no, totally.
Because what if that happens?
I don't know.
Like 50 years from now, people are gonna like watch it, and be like,
I'll tell you what, though. Why
Steven
don't you-
was right.
If you go on our Facebook page, we'll let you know what happened.
Yes.
Facebook.com/Maelstrom Gamers.
I will be streaming the game when it comes out because I will be buying it for $60.
I will be too.
That's awesome.
well, he won't be streaming it, but
No, I won't be streaming it.
All right.
It's PlayStation. You can do it from PlayStation.
I still can't.
Oh,
stream.
you still can't
It's my,
stream.
it's my upload. It's my upload speeds.
Sorry.
Yeah, PlayStation and PC.
Yeah.
And no, I do not work for the company. I'm just saying.